All right, everybody, welcome back to our next segment, Responding Directly. This is the opportunity that we take to go through the comments that we have gotten on our social media platforms to respond directly to you, our engagers. So, the first, we're going to be coming live and direct from our TikTok page as usual. Our first topic is going to be a clip that we posted from episode 7 titled, Here's the Harsh Truth About Some American Welfare Recipients. So this was that one where we was just basically talking about the lady who was saying that she got reported for having a
Yeah,
beamer
yeah.
and
She had a brand new Beamer,
but she was getting 4,000 a
getting
month
four
in
thousand
food
dollars in
stamps. She
food
got cash
stamps.
assistance. They
She
was
got
paying
cash
90% of
assistance.
her
She
rent.
was getting Section 8,
Right. All
and
that.
she had online content where she was getting paid off of
Right.
a lot of flowers. And she was upset that somebody said they was gonna report her.
So I think somebody did report it because
Oh,
remember she
okay.
was saying that they was saying that she had to sell the BMW.
Yes, they wanted her to sell the BMW if she wanted to keep her
Right.
benefits.
Right. So all right, so one the first comment, we will start from the bottom and come on
Okay.
up. So the first one was from a woman. Her name was, or the handle was Mother of Five.
Okay.
Mother of Five says the
Shout out.
tax man going to be coming for them. I guess I told you the tax man is going to be coming for them, but yeah, right. Doge,
Doge,
Doge is coming
Doge
for
is
you.
coming for
So we
you.
agree, Mother of Five, like yeah, the Doge is coming for him.
Yes.
All right, the next comment came from a gentleman, I'm assuming a gentleman with the name Randy, but then Randy's comment was black privilege.
That one I didn't understand.
Well, to me, what I'm picking up was Randy's bigotry, his prejudice, and all that is on full display.
Oh, you know what it was? That clip was just a snippet.
That's
So
my
the
point.
snippet didn't have the actual video.
That's my
So he
point.
just assumed that we were talking about black women.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that's why you said his bigotry and all that
It's
is
on full display.
your slip is
Your
showing.
prejudice, your bigotry, all that.
Because it was a white girl that made that video. It was
It was from Michigan,
from Michigan.
a white woman from Michigan,
Yeah,
Randy. That's why I love
a
those comments, though.
white woman of European descent.
Yep. Right. All right. The next comment comes from it looks like a Chris Butler. Looks like a female. So Chris Butler says, "Stop it! Seriously, go after the corporate welfare queens, not the mom with a nice car." Shaking my head. Now, there's a part of me that feels searching that by welfare queen, well, corporate welfare queens. She's referring to who?
I don't know.
I don't know, because I'm just like, if she would have just said welfare queens, my assumption would have been she was mostly talking about American women of African descent. But since she put corporate welfare queens, I'm just like, well, I don't know any corporate welfare queens per se, but I know there's some corporate welfare kings.
But I'm not understanding the whole concept of corporate welfare.
I
Are
think
these
by
people?
corporate welfare, she's specifically referring to like all the companies or the corporations that get subsidies as well as tax breaks. That's what I'm assuming that she's talking about. But anywho, we had other individuals who were engaging with the engager.
Mm-hmm.
So then we had a Ria. Ria says, if you're driving a new Beamer whilst getting $4,000 in food stamps, you are a welfare queen.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree. I mean, because I just made the whole statement about in our video, like I could be driving a Beamer, if I want to, but you got to make decisions.
Exactly.
That's
Moral reasoning.
more reason. It's like how that's like driving a Bentley and you live in a 1 bedroom apartment with your mom.
Mm-hmm. And plenty of men and women do that.
That's like having a Birkin bag and you don't even got $20 in it to buy you a sandwich.
And plenty of women do that. That's like a dude having a closet full of Air Jordan sneakers, living with his mama, and he ride the bus every day.
Right.
But he got every pair of Jordan sneaker in the world. Every colorway that come out, he got it.
In mint condition.
In mint condition.
Cases.
Right. Custom cases at that. All right. Living in the projects at that. On welfare. Next one was this looks like Alyssa's mom forever. She says, I think those on welfare driving a brand new BMW are the welfare queens. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. So I guess this is a new.
So then Chris Butler comes back at Rhea, who said that if you're driving a new Beamer whilst getting 4K and food stamps, you are a welfare queen. She says, "What about the $1 billion contracts? Why aren't you on them? And by the way, nope, no government, nothing here. I just don't find it fun to beat up on the average person for what's been taken by the 1%." So that looks like Chris. Well, it looks like Chris Butler's position is more so she's. That's why she most likely put corporate because she's more so just against again like the Amazons and the big guys.
But how do Amazon and them benefit from welfare?
I mean, I don't know how they benefit from welfare, which is actually the topic of the post.
Yeah. I don't get it.
How I like I said, them is two dots that she trying to connect that ain't connecting.
She got to explain that a little better, baby.
I
wish
agree.
she could. I wish she could. If you hear this, go back on there and explain yourself a little more.
And then Rhea came back and said,
she came back?
Yeah, wrong is wrong. No one should be living off government. It's temporary help to get on your feet, not a supplement to your income."
Now I agree with that. I agree with that.
Shouts out to Rhea for holding it down in the comment section. You know, we appreciate that.
I agree with that. It's totally not fair to be an able body. And now, if the money came from, if there was some tariff that came from China that we charge China to take care of our people on welfare, I might be on welfare my damn self.
Right. Facts.
But the fact that the means for this compensation comes from the
taxpayer dollars,
it comes from my hard work.
Yeah.
And me getting up and having to fucking do something.
So that's my whole thing with the whole welfare and even just giving money out to strangers is just like, again, like Michael Jackson. I mean, like Sugar Free said, we all got the same 24 hours in a day as Michael Jackson, but most of us choose to do nothing with it and be nothing with it. So it's like if I'm willing to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm out the house by 6, and I'm not getting back to my house by 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon because I've been doing whatever I've been doing to earn what I need to earn.
And that's no lie. This nigga is up at 5 and out by 6.
So if I gotta do that every day to quote unquote to make a living for myself or to earn a living for myself, then it's just like no, I have nothing for nobody that ain't willing to do the same. Like,
you know what was funny when we in Arkansas, right? And I be trying my best to beat you to get up. I'll be up. I'm like, I think I got. He like, no, I already been down to the such and such. I already been. Like, damn, right. Nigga, what time you get up?
And that's on vacation,
right?
Vacation, I'm even getting up early. But it is what it is. So last comment on this topic, it was from a Jeanette Moore. She says their system was not intended as a lifestyle. It was for help when you need it. It needs to go back to that.
Yeah.
It needs to go back to what it was intended for.
And it needs to have some boundaries on it, ramifications, some guidelines.
I agree. So, and it's like I said, life happens. You know, people do fall on hard times.
Yes,
and
for sure.
I do believe that there does need to be some sort of help or assistance for those who are helping themselves, though.
Right.
Not just for people to supplement their income while they sit on their ass all day and watch the stories.
And generations
right.
of it.
All right, next topic was.
I figured what you should get a welfare for what? Say a good. That's why you feel broke. 3-year max.
Let's just say 3 to 5 years.
Let's just say 3 to 5 max.
No more than 5 years.
No, that's stretching it too.
That's what I'm saying. No more than 5. 5 is the max. You know what I'm saying? All right, the next one was this was I think from episode 7 as well. Yeah, it was from episode 7. This was the title of this clip was "Here's Why You're Struggling with Money and Always Feel Broke." Yeah, this is when we were talking about people going kind of some of what we talked about today. But so our first comment comes from a Go For It. They said, "You won't be unbroke just because you stop watching social media. If you don't make enough, you don't make enough." So go for it, like.
Just because you stop watching social.
Because I think this is when we were saying where we were talking about how to with dopamine. We weren't talking about money per se, but we were talking about how.
Was that when I was saying like people feel broke because they watching everyone else portray this lavish lifestyle, and therefore it makes them feel like they're not achieving.
Yes. Right. So yes, go for it. stop not watching social, not looking at social media is not gonna make you unbroke. But that wasn't our point.
No.
Our point specifically was that the social media is what's making you feel broke because you're comparing yourself to other people's most likely fugazi facade anyway. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're saying. Go for it. Not that just solely by stopping, consuming social media that you're going to be unbroke. Like that's not what we're saying.
No.
But to your point, like yeah, if you don't make enough, you don't make enough. But if you know you don't make enough, then what are you doing to make enough?
Then that's a whole nother question.
All right, next comment came from a Courtney Carver. They said, I always felt like that was an internal battle because when Instagram first got big, a friend of mine 10 years ago said he don't do social media because it makes you jealous of other people's lives. And I always felt like that was an internal battle because why do you have a jealous spirit?
That could be argued either way, but I hear what
I
he's
hear what you're
I
saying.
hear what he's saying though. Yeah. Like it makes you question what am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like if I'm looking at someone, with social media will have you looking at a 12-year-old kid with
Right.
$5,000 in his hand,
Right.
Holding it up to his ear.
Making you question like what you like to say.
Like, what the fuck am I doing
Right.
wrong out here? Social media have you looking at somebody posing in front of a Bentley or something, knowing it ain't theirs, but you
You
taking it
fill
for
in the
what
blanks.
you taking it for what it's being served as.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like it
And you're
could
beating
be
yourself up about it.
like, damn, what the fuck am I doing wrong? Then you look like, am I on a trajectory to get a Bentley? Like I'm alone with you. Like how the fuck they get it? So I think as humans we do like self inventory and it makes us self doubt and stuff like that. I don't think it's a jealous spirit.
Mm-mm.
I don't want to call it that because I think that's something maybe slightly different.
I agree.
But I do believe that when you see a lot of good things around you, you do wonder like, well, what I gotta do to get this?
Mm-hmm. All right. So the next one was.
We appreciate your comments though, y'all. Keep liking and subscribing to the channel. Keep commenting. Keep letting these ripples flow. These are the things that we are adamant about, and this is what we're doing this for, just to engage with other people, exchange ideas, and getting them to ripple
Keep them
out.
ripples rippling. So this one actually, these comments come from episode 6. This is
Okay.
when we were talking about the title for this clip was the truth about the Target boycott that no one is talking about. And this is what I think we're specifically talking about, like what are you doing with the money if you're not spending it at Target?
What are we going to do with the money that we saved by not going to Target?
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to spend it at another store
Mm-hmm.
that we don't know that we don't know that's as racist as what we think Target is?
Right. All right, so the first comment came from Dorothy. She says, "You could just keep the money in your pocket. Ain't nothing wrong with saving." I agree.
You ain't saying nothing wrong.
Then we had a Coco Blue follow up to Dorothy by saying this, like, why do people love spending their money so much? Like, yeah, that's one thing I've always wondered too. Like, personally, as I got older and I began to start developing a better understanding of money and like earning interest and that kind of stuff and seeing your money grow, I start wanting to see that more than I. So I once I learned that, I was like, would you rather watch the money grow in your bank account or would you rather watch the money grow out of your bank account? You know what I'm saying?
Well, people spend money to get that chemical release.
Yeah, I agree. That dopamine hit. Or they are spending money in anticipation of a better reward, getting a better reward, a higher, a bigger bag. As
There's a gratification when you spend it. When I see something I like, I could pay for it and get it, and then come home with it. That's a form of instant gratification.
Mm-hmm. Right. Dopamine hit. All right. Next comment came from Sha. She says, "Save it the fuck." Black people everywhere, we need to invest and save. So yeah, save it. Yeah, facts. And yeah, we do need to do more investing in our communities. I remember when I first understood investing. It was right before the pandemic, I believe. But I remember at the time I was looking at I was on YouTube. I was trying to figure out because I had I had heard about a Roth IRA prior then, but I didn't understand like what to do with it. You know what I mean? Because I remember the first account I set up at TD Ameritrade back in the day. I'm dating myself, but it was like I had the account for like years, but I never did anything with it because I didn't understand what to do with it, and I didn't even know what questions to ask at the time. But I remember fast forward, it was the top of the year, and I remember I just made a goal that I was gonna learn how to invest that year.
Okay.
And you know how the universe likes putting things in front, likes putting opportunities in front of you for to give you the things that you asked it for. So I remember there was this a guy, this Asian guy. I found him online, and I started following some of his videos, and then I saw that he was hosting an investing one-on-one seminar in Los Angeles. So I was like, oh, I didn't even know he was from LA. So I remember I registered, I pulled up to it, and it was in that class, and it was about let's just say about 15 of us. It was in that class that I learned what investing was and how to do it for the first time, and I've been doing it ever since.
Good for you.
And it was, and unbeknownst to me, it was easier than what I was anticipating it was going to be. You know what I'm saying? Because I was thinking that investing in stocks specifically was oh, you got to go over all these charts and graphs, and but it was just like, nah, it's the easiest and most simplest thing for you to do when it comes to investing in stocks is just an index fund. Shout out to the gentleman over at EYL, Ian. Um, and then fast forward, once I learned his game was two tech stocks, invest in two tech stocks and two ETFs. That's just the basic portfolio allocation. I started doing those types of things, and like I said, it's been all gas and no breaks ever since then. And it's like it's funny to me now because it's like I now realize like I have multiple accounts, like investing accounts, checking accounts, savings accounts. So in my primary checking account, I pretty much keep that. No, I only keep as much money as I need to pay my bills in that account.
Keep minimum,
like a minimum. You know what I'm saying? Like literally. So if someone sees my balance in that account, it could be $200. They go say, "Oh, he ain't got no money, he broke." But it's just like, that's cool with me because,
of course, yeah.
The true money is in the investment accounts.
Yeah.
And I ain't saying I'm the cash money millionaire, but in light of knowing that the average American doesn't have $1,000 they can touch in the case of an emergency, it's like I can do that times 5 at a bare minimum. You know what I'm saying? Like I can do these basic things that the average person can't do. But even though I know that I can do those basic things, I'm still focused on an opportunity to do more.
Yes.
As opposed to just settling for, all right, well, I got what I got, so let me just kind of like let my hair down. It's just like, no, still moving forward. Got to do more.
I'm trying to get to the point where I have all my monthly bills come off my credit card.
Me too. Because I actually started like, so I saw, did you see that video that the white dude talking about that?
Probably.
So the one I saw was what he was, it was a white dude talking about how he was like, yeah, when my sons turned 18, I made them authorized users on my credit card, and then I had them pay all their bills on my credit card. He was like, I never use my cash for anything. He was like, I always use the credit card. He was like, because if the card gets hacked, then it's just credit, so and they'll fix it, and then but B, most importantly, you have the ability to build your credit score.
Yeah,
that was the main reason why he said that he did it that way.
Well, that as well, but the reason I want to do it because like we said, when we talked about this, we're not doing it using the credit to spend what we don't have.
Right.
I save my bills because I have that every month. I'm going to spend that.
Right.
So if I get that off my credit, then there's a lot of perks that you get from your credit card.
Right, miles.
Like you get miles and hotel points and you get a lot of cash back and you get cash back. Sometimes you get 3%, 5% or whatever the case may be. So and if you then they keep increasing it, which is the catch 22.
Right, saying and it's like even on that point, going back to credit, so becoming financially literate. Like I remember when I first like became an adult, I didn't understand what credit was, so I used it incorrectly. Every card. I remember the first card I got a Capital One card, and I remember my limit was $500. And I remember, let's just say I got the card on a Monday,
and it was
by
maxed
Friday
out.
it was maxed out.
Yep. Yep.
And because at that time, my understanding of credit was just from what I
Like
had heard in my
cash.
environment, what I heard in my environment of, or just you can spend as much as you want, just as long as you make the minimum payment. So that was my understanding of credit. Spend whatever you want, just make the minimum payment, and then that's how I did it. Unbeknownst to me, I was the things that I spent $500 on, I ended up spending double paying because of the interest. And that's the part of credit that they didn't talk about in my network of conversations that was always already listening. No one ever talked about that aspect of it. It was just, oh, you could just use it to buy whatever you want, or if you're in a gym, you can. It was never about like, oh, only spend. So if you know you'll go have $1,000 in this month, only spend $1,000 on this credit card, and then use your cash to pay off the credit card bill. Keep it going.
Yeah.
That's how I wish I was educated on credit, but it wasn't. So I had to learn the hard way, and I'm still learning the hard way.
Yeah.
But I'm doing better. I'm trying to do better, like everybody else out there.
Yeah. When you know better, you'll do better.
All right. Next comment was from a not pregnant, just fat. These names, bro, be just blowing my mind sometimes.
They actually think about these names.
And they do. That's the funny part about it. So they say allow black people to boycott without having to include special turns and they said turns TURN. I'm assuming they meant terms.
TERM.
Yeah. But they typed turns TURNS. So including special terms and conditions. Everything doesn't have to be overanalyzed.
So if
you
we
had overanalyzed,
she need to shut the fuck up because what's a boycott without putting or redirecting the funds?
Right.
What is it? We just ain't going to the store today?
A feel good haha moment?
Like what's going to what's supposed to be a Million Man March on April 1st?
I didn't know that.
Ain't nobody gonna be there.
Where's it supposed to be at?
Who knows? The thing's supposed to be in Washington or something, maybe somewhere. Like, do we need another march?
Right.
Our calves should be big enough.
Facts. And then so next comment came from Khadijah Grace. She says, keep it in your pocket so you can buy fruits and vegetable seeds. We're going into a famine, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, I see what she putting down. She making sense.
Yep.
Definitely. Gardening. You know what's about gardening? I was looking into getting a job. I don't know if I told you this before. I was looking into getting a job over. I think there was New Zealand somewhere, wherever they shoot Game of Thrones.
Yeah, New Zealand, I think.
And so I was going through looking at the jobs, looking at the benefits of the job, and the job came with this blew my mind. You get a gym membership, and at your office there's an outdoor space for your garden.
Really?
Yes.
A personal garden.
Yes.
That's dope.
So because you got to be at work, so why not have your garden at the job so you could tend to your garden during the day, like not have it back home. Because you can't tend to it if you're at work.
Right.
So that's the emphasis they put on health and nutrition, which is amazing. Dope. Yeah, I thought that was very amazing.
All right, last comment comes from a Sam. I ain't gonna even try to pronounce that. Sam looks like a female picture. Look like a female. Yeah, look like a female. Look like braids to me. But then, nevertheless, Sam says the plan is to buy essentials only. As much as possible, buy local, especially black-owned businesses for essentials. Save, build wealth. This has been stated repeatedly.
Yeah, it has been stated.
But we're not doing it.
But we don't do it.
Yeah, that's the problem, Sam. We're not doing it. So to your point, Mr. Alexander, like, where are the funds being redirected to from these boycotts that we putting on or that we call ourselves putting on? Because it ain't staying in our bank accounts and collecting interest. It ain't doing that.
Because you don't get
that's what it's not doing.
Because you don't get no interest off the bank accounts. 0.002%.
So become financially literate, ladies and gentlemen. I know that's a word that you've heard of multiple times and you probably hear it. And for those of you who are wondering, what does that mean? Specifically, learn how money works, learn how to manage it. Like I said, learn credit, understand what APRs represents, like understand interest rates, understand again, like debt ain't something that you carry. It's something that you want to pay off in the month so you don't get charged interest. When it comes back to your cash, understand that your cash ain't doing no work for you if you got it sitting in your checking account earning no interest. And even if you put it in your commercial, I'm not your commercial, but your retail savings account, it's still not doing the best work it can be doing for you because they're not giving you the best rate you can get. Ideally, you want to put it in a high yield savings account or a money market account. A managed money market account. You got to put the money in a place where it's going to be doing some work for you, not just sitting up collecting dust, losing buying power, losing spending power due to inflation. Like you said, learn about inflation. That's what it means to be financially literate. Understanding how money works, understanding how the money system works, and understanding how you can make it work for you. Whether you're earning $10 an hour or you're earning $1 million an hour, doesn't matter. If the mindset is whack, you go lose.
And I just had a meeting with my financial advisor yesterday, and just a little wisdom for anyone that's out there thinking of investing or that is investing. The stock market is about to take a little dip because there's some changes being made. Things are happening.
That just means everything's on sale, though.
It's time to buy.
Now is the time to buy.
Time to buy
so
some things.
When the stock market dips is when you buy.
Yeah.
Not sell.
Right.
But the average investor is looking to sell right now, which is why the smart investors are going to come up, quote unquote, come up, because they're going to be. So just think of it like this. When the stock market is dipping like it is right now, that just means that the pair of Kobe Bryants that was selling for retail price at Foot Locker are now being sold at a discount at TJ Maxx or Ross. That's all the stock market dipping represents. Like, that's it. So that doesn't mean you just quote unquote. So again, if you see a pair of Kobe's that you've been wanting that I don't want to pay full price for them, you waiting for them to go on sale. Now the stocks is on sale. Now's the time to buy the stocks, not sell them. Because I done had so many people, like, people still randomly ask me about these things, like, because when I was learning how to invest, I was sharing online. So a couple of relatives and a couple of friends, they always hit me randomly from time to time. But then the last time I got hit up, they was like, oh, like, what are you doing right now? Like, are you selling anything? Is now the time to sell? I'm just like, no. Now's the time to buy.
Yep.
Oh, but the market is going down, it's dipping, like da-da-da. I was like, well, the only way you can realize a loss is if you actually sell the stock. It's the only way you can lose when the market is going down is if you actually sell at a loss. You can't lose if you don't sell. So if anything, now is the time to double up,
acquire more. Yeah.
So I think one of the last things I saw. Let's just say in the beginning or toward the end of the year, Tesla. Actually, we can look at it right now. So for example, I was gonna say. Yep, got the stock thing right there. So, for example, you ain't even opened the stock.
Not on that.
Right? Welcome. Not now. All right. So, for example, like Apple. So right now, Apple is currently trading at $223.85, which is actually. But if we look at the 3-month, it's been down, as we see here. So in December, Apple was at a high of around 253. Now it's at 223, which is basically, we'll just say, about a $30 dip. Now, a lot of people are thinking like, oh, it's time for me to sell my Apple shares. But it's just like, no, like if now since December and it's been going down, it's just been time to buy. Because now it's about to start trending back up.
Because Apple ain't going nowhere.
Apple ain't going nowhere, right? The S&P ain't going nowhere. Yeah. The Dow Jones ain't going nowhere. So that's what I'm saying. Index funds. So there's a Dow Jones index fund that you can invest in. There's a S&P 500 index fund that you can invest in. Another, like Home Depot, is another good position to be in. Why? Because to my knowledge, people ain't gonna never not want to improve their home.
Yeah, building and equipment and tools is always a necessity.
Construction service is always a necessity. So it's like Home Depot will be another opportunity to get into. But again, in December, Home Depot was trading for roughly just over, we'll just probably say about $400, just around $400 As of today, it's at 362, which means that it's going down by roughly $40, but that means that it's on sale. You know what
That's
I'm saying?
exactly what I mean.
It means that the
You're right.
Nike, the Kobe's that you wanted that was selling for $100 at Foot Locker are now at Ross or TJ Maxx for $49.99. That's all a dip in the stock market represents. So now is the time to buy. So buy.
Definitely. Good stuff.
All right. Well, on that note,
All right.
we're gonna knock out we'll go ahead and go to our outro and on to the next episode.
There you have it. That's a wrap for another episode of the Ripple Effect Podcast. From moral maturity to money traps and the ever evolving dynamic between men and women, we went there. We don't pretend to have all the answers, but we ask the questions that matter. We shake the table so we can build a better one. If this hits you, challenged you, or made you think, share it, like it, tag a friend, start the convo, and keep the ripples going. Until next time, I'm Quattro.
I'm Diesel.
Peace.